What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Dudes Who Bet Daily, August 20th, 2023. Happy Kings Plate Day for all our brethren up in Canada there. Their biggest day of racing. Monster card today, including a monster field in the Kings Plate. We'll get to that a little bit later. We got 13 races there, 2 graded stakes, and, of course, the $1 million Kings Plate going to be the 10th on the card. Pretty good day yesterday, though. We just had one falter there. Aaron, you didn't come through for us with that sixth horse. I have no idea why he was so close to the pace, especially on that first turn.
That horse just ran horrible, honestly. Like, even if that horse was going to lose yesterday, I thought, well, he'd run like second, third. That's what that horse does, kind of. But he just didn't show up at all. And it makes me even madder because Asenet was the other horse that I was between those two, kind of debating between those two and a horse at Remington, actually. And of course, Asenet just dominates. I'm like, geez, why didn't I do that one? And then the horse at Remington won. So I'm like, you're 1 for 3 here. And then you lost that one I picked. So I don't know. That one just was a head scratcher. I was with you. I pretty close to the pace. Never quite sure why that was the case, but just awful and horrible performance from that horse.
Yeah, we got Asenet actually looks very, very good. She's going to be a threat in the Breeders' Cup. It looks like a few steps forward. Papa Dude, your parlays are on fire, man. 2-0 for the week. Would be 3-0 if we had a show on Friday. Unfortunately, we didn't. So you got a lot of pressure on you today. You feeling it?
I'm feeling it. I am. And I tell you what, I thought Baltimore was going to lose last night. I was so pissed off at them. They only could score 2 runs in 9 innings. And then, wow, they got 5 in the 10th and pulled that one out. So you may have a little bit of a Baltimore parlay again today.
It's nice when you only have to change one of the 2 teams on Papa Dude's parlay. The O's coming right back at it. All right, let's kick it off with the Tigers going into Cleveland, taking on the Guardians here. Tigers minus 120, total sitting at 7.5. Before we jump into it, Papa Dude, how many games under 500 are the Tigers?
10.
Aaron,
or is it 10 or 11?
Aaron, how many games under 500 are the Tigers?
I think they're 11.
11. Your guys both very good. I was surprised they were that close to 500. I didn't think this team was doing that well. As I noticed when they were favored, wanted to look at what their record was. And there you go. Interesting game here. The Tigers sending out Rodriguez to the mound. Allen taking the mound for Cleveland. Aaron, we'll start with you. Who do you like here?
Don't you feel like the Tigers, if they would have tried, may have won this division?
Kind of, yeah.
I don't know. 11 under 500. Them and the Guardians, 2 bad teams. I'll take the Guardians today. I like Allen. He's a pretty solid pitcher. They're at home. It's a game that, the Guardians are still sort of in that race for the AL Central. So I think they'll get the job done today. They're plus money. So give me the Guardians, but I'm not betting this game.
Yeah, I like the Guardians as well. I kind of like the over here. I realize these are 2 decent pitchers, but 7.5 is a little bit low. The Guardians, it's really a gut punch to take the Guardians when you're playing an over because their offense can be so terrible at times. But the Tigers actually put runs up, and 7.5 just seems a little bit low here, Papa Dude. So I'll take the Guardians in the over. Who do you like?
I'm the same way. I think anytime you got 7.5, you got a shot at cashing. If you go over, I'm with you though. The Guardians sometimes cannot score. I can't figure either of these teams out. I was reading some stuff today, looking at this game. It's one of my best bets on the website. And somebody said they're going with Cleveland because they're the best team. I don't think they are. I'm not sure they are better than Detroit at this point. I can't take Detroit, though, at minus money. So if I was going to bet the winner, I'd go with Cleveland. But I think I'd stay away with it unless you want to bet the over.
Yeah, tough game to kick it off there. Not a lot of overly competitive games. The other one that's lined very close today, the Blue Jays taking on the Reds, minus 105, total sitting in 8. Really interesting pitching matchup. So you got Ryu, who's back for Toronto, 1-1 on the season, so just came off the DL. And then Hunter Green returns for the Reds, a dark horse Cy Young candidate who has only 6 results so far this year. So we'll see what happens here with Hunter Green. Big spot for the Reds here. They've been waiting to get Hunter Green back. They've been waiting to get Lodolo back. He's supposed to be back around the corner as well. They get 2 pitchers back, Aaron. Does it matter today for the Reds? They able to get it done?
Oh, I think it matters a lot. I watch the Reds every night, and I've been getting Hunter Green reports in the minor leagues, every 4 or 5 nights. He has been pitching extremely well in the minors. So I think he comes up today and he's ready to go. How far does he go? That's the thing. Is it 5 innings? Is it, 3-4 innings, try to get him back. I don't really know. That's the big question mark here. The biggest problem for this series for the Reds, they just haven't hit the ball very well. They won the first game 1-0 on a walk-off homer in the ninth. And then last night, another close loss 4-3. They just couldn't get those runners in. So regardless of how he pitches, I'm not sure. I'm going to take the Blue Jays here going around it. I'm going to take the Blue Jays to win this one. I just don't know how many innings Hunter Green will pitch. I do think he'll pitch well, though. So toss up, give me the Jays.
Yeah, this is actually totaled at 9.5 now. So ESPN had it listed at 8. I just went to a couple books. Both of them have it at 9.5. So updating the total there to show the 9.5 number. I kind of like the under first 5 here, especially that 9.5 total. If you poke around, you can get 5. I actually trust Ryu to pitch pretty well. And you mentioned how well Hunter Green's been pitching in the minors. I think this is a situation where you try and focus on the two starters who both should not go deep into this game, but both should pitch well while they're in it. So I'll take the under 5 first 5 here. Jays and Reds. Papa Dude, where are you going?
Well, I would think Aaron, has Green pitched several games in the minors?
I think he's made I'm not 100% sure on the exact total, but I think he's made 3 starts.
Yeah, I believe it's 3. Yeah.
3? Yeah. Okay. And as he went, 5 innings most of the time? Maybe
I don't know the exact innings. I'm not sure.
You're right. It's hard to tell what he's going to do. I'm a little worried about the Reds. They should have won that game last night. I was following it real close because I had the under in that game, and the over-under was 10. Mm-hmm. And it was 4-3 in the ninth. I was rooting for the Reds, and Toronto was ahead, and the Reds had runners at second and third and 1 out. I said, face hit, and I've got this, and the Reds win. I'm happy all the way around, and they didn't score. They got to win games like that, and they're not. I'm a little worried about them. So I'm kind of with Aaron. I would take Toronto today because you're getting them at a pretty cheap price. And I also like the under as well.
Yeah, the big part of Toronto as well is whether or not we're going to see Bo Bichette back. He was out yesterday. He's rumored that he could be back as early today. So that's another one that I would keep an eye on. I have not seen the lineups today. I'll see if I can find him real quick here. He is in the lineup, batting second today for the Blue Jays. So you're getting that full Blue Jays lineup back as well, which is a positive for them. Should be an interesting game there. Big day for the Reds. They need to win today because the Rangers and Brewers play, and Scherzer's on the mound for the Rangers. So the Rangers should be able to get that game. The Reds need to take advantage of those type of spots. All right, let's jump into the race of the day here. The Kings Plate, Woodbine, race number 10. Just 17 horses in this field, so a very easy one for Papa to pull out the hat. Actually, I don't know if the hat could fit all of the slips that you might possibly have here with this race. Always a competitive field, always a fun race. Your favorite, Kalleward, at 3-1 here, a Chad Brown turf horse that we know very well. Kamara picks up the mount, the leading jockey there. Second choice on the rail, the 1 horse 4-1, Stanley's House. Michael DiPaolo trains. Castellano flies up to take them out, leaves Saratoga for it. Was actually the favorite in the Kings Plate trial. Ran really poorly that day, but also was way off the pace, something that was not normal for the horse. Be interested to see if you can flip it around there. But Aaron, there are a plethora of prices here. If you want to go price shopping as well, I know I did. Who'd you land on top with?
Yeah, I just couldn't take 3-1 on top with Kalleward. I could not do it. And maybe the horse wins, but I just can't play a short price here. I went with a little bit of a wild one. I went number 8, Wickenheiser on top, 12-1 on the morning line here. This is a horse super consistent, finished second both efforts here at Woodbine. Should enjoy the stretch out to 1.25 miles. I think that's the big thing. I think gets out of the gate a little bit better today. I think it sets up for closers as there's a ton of pace in here. So I like the number 8 Wickenheiser on top here. Like I said, 12-1. You look at the history of the was Queen's Plate, now King's Plate. Phillies win this race a lot. You know, you look back at some of like Myra last year winning it, Wonder Godot, Holy Helena. I mean, these are horses, these were Phillies that won it. So I'm not really worried about the Philly thing. I think the pace just sets up so well. I think the pedigree says 1.25 miles. So give me the number 8 Wickenheiser on top.
I'm going to stay on the Kevin Attard train, but I'm going to go to a bigger price here. Give me the 17 Moon Landing. 20-1, baby. Let's go. Let's get a bomb here. Look, this is a horse where when Kevin Attard had this horse as a 2-year-old early in the 3-year-old season, the horse ran really well. Ended up running 4th in the Battaglia. They actually had Triple Crown Dreams for this horse at one point. Horse ran poorly the next start, but was on the pace. And that was the first time we'd seen this horse on the pace. We've returned to the closing form. I agree with Aaron. I think that you want to be coming from off the pace this race. This horse was 2.5-1, 2 races back as the favorite. was $1.20 last time out as a favorite, and now you are getting 20-1. I'll take the big odds flip here. I'll take a big shot. I respect the one. I actually almost picked the one who's 4-1, but I don't love the post in a 17-horse field. We've talked about the Derby post before. Guess what? The inside post in 17 horses, almost as bad as the inside post with 20 horses. So I'm going to go out to the 17 post here in Moon Landing at 20-1, see if we can get an absolute bomb home. I did respect, I got to find this horse because there's so many of them, the 11 Touch and Ride 2. Got an absolute dream trip last time, going up the rail, 1/5 breaking the maiden, but has the best last out buyer. You're getting 12-1 on a horse that, bred to get the distance, shouldn't be terrible. I don't hate the idea of a 12-1 with a first against winners win here. Papa Dude, how many horses do you consider and where are you going?
Okay, I considered 4. All right. And I'm going to go, and I'm a little worried too about the post. I like the 2. I don't know how you pronounce that. Elysian Field.
Elysian Fields.
Yeah.
Elysian Field.
I'm going to go with the 2 at 8-1. There's tons and tons and tons of speed in this race. This horse, in his last outing, 500,000 K, came off the pace. He closed extremely well, and I think he can do that again today. My concern is the 2 post, and he's never ran at this distance. He won at 1 1/8 the last time, so he's got to go a little farther. That worries me some, but I like the way he's been running, first, second, and first in his last 3 outings. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the 2, Elysian Field.
Beat the 8 Wickenheiser last time out by 2 lengths, and that was a race where it really set up for a horse to come off the pace. It went 46-4, going 1 1/8 early. That was absolutely flying. All right, Aaron, you had a 12-1 on top. You had to at least like some other prices in here. Who else are you considering underneath?
Yeah, you do. You just, to me, you just, like said, we're all kind of taking prices, and it makes sense to do that. Look, I did play the 1 underneath. I know that's not a price, but that was kind of my next horse. I like that one a little bit as well. I did play the 2 Elysian Field because, look, beat my horse, the 8 that I have on top. I think the 8 turns the tables, but that is a horse that I got to use. Look, you touched on it. The 11 Touch and Ride seems pretty interesting to me. Coming off of that nice maiden win last time out, it's tough to go maiden to this situation here, but these are all kind of the same type of horses, right? So I don't think it's that big of a jump today. And the distance really screams that the 11's going to like it. So you kind of touched on my other 12-1 shot. I like the 11 quite a bit as well.
The other wild price I thought was interesting here, the 14 two-way crossing, 30-1 on the morning line. Roger Atfield owns and trains this one. He's 26%. That last race on Synth was like sneaky good. We talked about how much pace we're expecting in here. This is a horse that wants to come from off it. They went 6s home from the mile point on after going slow early, and this horse was able to close into that. So they went 115 to 6 furlongs. They came home in 145-2, so essentially 30-2 for the last what is that, 5/16.
Sure.
That's very good. That's like fast. And the fact that this horse was able to close into that pace, I think, says something as well. So I wouldn't completely sleep on the 14. May not be able to win, but a horse I think at least makes a little bit sense underneath at 30-1. Papa Dude, who else were you considering?
Did any of you look at the 13 Paramount Place?
Mm-hmm.
Speed. What if it gets out in front and they can't catch the horse?
Yeah.
I don't know how good the horse is. 1 by 5 lengths last time at 1 1/8. Kind of dangerous when you're that fast, and can get out there. I don't think whether the horse can hold on, but at 10-1, might have to look at him to nab some of it.
And Mark Casse trains, Patrick Husband rides. He's the money man for Mark Casse there. 221 mounts together, 23% over the last 2 years. Did go gate to wire in the King's Plate trial last time. Got I would say an easier lead in that race when I watched it back. So it'd be tough for him to get that same lead. But we saw yesterday in the Alabama, when you get loose, it doesn't really matter how fast you're going sometimes because the 8 just kept on going there in the Alabama. So should be interesting here. Should be a lot of fun with the King's Plate. I actually really enjoy this race. And by the way, if you're bored, you want to play a contest, head over to ExpressBet. They've got a $100 contest, 2 BCBC, or $1,000 contest, 2 BCBCs, 2 NHCs today. So not a bad way to enjoy King's Plate Day. I'll be playing that one and having a good time. Hopefully we can take it down. All right, let's jump into the best bets of the day. Aaron, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'll keep it simple here today. Red Sox for me. They've already won 2 games, really in blowout fashion. They beat Garrett Cole yesterday easily. I think the Yankees have completely quit, and I think the Red Sox sweep them. The other thing about it is the Red Sox have certainly not completely quit. They're only 3 games out of the wild card, still a long ways to go. They've played a lot better second half of the season than they did in the first half. So I think the Red Sox here at a decent price, that's good enough for me. I'm gonna go back to baseball here and take the Red Sox on a race day where I like a lot of horses, but not really any individual ones. It's kind of like I like 2 in each a race here and there, but not really one standout for me. So give me the Red Sox today to beat the Yankees.
I'm going to go to baseball as well, and I'm going to take the dreaded Cardinals.
Oh, good Lord.
I have not taken them since like early in the season. I think I've waited like 100 days to go back to the Cardinals at any point. I'm going to lay the half run with them. First 5 here. Look, Cookie Carrasco on the mound for the Mets. He is atrocious, and I'm not sure that even is a good enough adjective for how bad he has pitched. And guess what? He is exponentially worse during the day. He's over an 8 ERA in day games today. I think the Cardinals are able to beat him up early. I'll lay the half run first 5, take the plus 105 money. Magic headed to the CFL for the first time in a while, taking the BC Lions minus the 9.5. He wrote up a reason why he likes them. I'm not going to read it, but I trust him in the CFL. He's done very well there, actually. I know a couple days ago he went 3-0 in the CFL. So Magic going to the BC Lions minus the 9.5. Papa Dude, tell us about the daily parlay you got going.
Well, first of all, I love your Cardinal one. I think
no, don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm sorry, but I do. It's going to be probably one of my best bets on the website because we're getting them fairly cheap. And I don't like Carrasco at all.
No, he's very bad.
Yeah. So anyway,
Aaron's already booking the loss in his head. I can just see it.
Oh, anyway, I'm going to stick with the parlays. We've hit these. We got the Rangers today with Scherzer pitching against the Brewers, who won the first 2 games of the series, which is really good for the Brewers. Those are 2 big wins for them. I don't think they're going to win 3 in a row over the Rangers. So I like Texas to bounce back today and win at home. And then Baltimore is in Oakland. Oakland had their chance to beat them yesterday, did not do it. I know they have Sears pitching today, which worries me a little bit, but they'll take him out after 5 innings. So then we can get him. So I anytime you got the O's against the Baltimore is still not getting respected enough, I don't think. And, they're still like 190 today in that game against Oakland, one of the best teams in baseball against the worst. So anyway, we're catching the O's at prices you better bet them. They're the best money team in baseball right now. So somehow try to get them in there. That's what we're doing. We're getting plus 130, which is good enough for me. So I like the Rangers O's parlay plus 130 today.
I almost played A's first 5. I couldn't get myself to do it. I don't hate the O's full game, but I almost played A's first 5. I know Magic loves them, some JP Sears, especially in the first 5 there. We'll see what happens in that game. O's hit lefties pretty well, so I didn't want to fire because of that. I do like the Rangers today. Hopefully they can take care of business against the Brewers. So I like your little parlay here, Papa Dude. Hopefully we can go 3 for 3 this week.
Let's hope.
What do you got, Aaron? You look like you want to say something.
I think he misses it today.
Oh no!
To me, here's why. The Brewers they're just scary when they're plus money. For whatever reason, when the Brewers are underdogs, they just play better, and we've seen it 2 straight games. So that one worries me. I took the Rangers though. I don't know. I just feel like Papa Dude, the A's. I think this is one they might win. So I don't know. I'm really worried about that parlay today.
Yeah, I couldn't really find 43 at home.
I don't know. I just feel like they'll something's gonna happen. It's almost too logical. I guess is where I'm at with it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that is true. But you know what? I do the baseball. I couldn't find anything much today in baseball.
It's tough. Yeah.
Right.
I am shocked you didn't play the Cubs today, Papa Dude. I was expecting you to just run the Cubs O's back as a parlay.
Well, I would have, but I decided to do a little bit different. Oh, I know what it was. The Cubs are at 221 today. It was, or maybe even 230.
Yeah,
I think. I got a little bit better price with the Rangers than I did the Cubs, and I don't trust the Cubs. I just don't trust them.
Cubs are 220, Rangers are 208 right now.
Yeah, well, there you go. See, I got them before they got to 200. I think
the Royals are pitching Jordan Lyles 3-13, 6.30 ERA.
Yeah, the Cubs are pitching Hendricks, and
he's not great. Yeah.
I'm a little worried about the Cubs.
Yeah,
I just like the Rangers better.
Yeah,
Aaron and I both proponents of playing this at plus 125 Cubs O's, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Cubs would for sure.
Well, that was my parlay yesterday. I never get them 2 days in a row.
There you go.
All right, fair. That's fair.
Just unarguable logic right there from Papa Dude. All right, let's rip through the best bets here. We'll take off. Been a pretty good week so far. 4-2-1, up $303 for the week. Aaron taking the Red Sox minus 110. I'm gonna go with the Cards minus a half run, first 5 plus 105. Papa Dude, Orioles and Rangers plus 130. Magic taking the BC Lions, laying the 9.5 in the CFL, up $501 for the year. Thank you very much for joining us today. We will be back same time, same place on Thursday next week for more Dudes Who Bet Daily. Good luck with all your bets across the sports and horse racing world.